What's up, man? Can't complain. All right. What's up, dude?
Start with questions.
Is anyone notable not here?
There's a few guys, but that's okay. I mean, like we've said before, it's voluntary, and but we've got an unbelievable turnout. A lot of great positive vibes out there, and so we're excited about that.
Who medically can't go through OTAs, Robert?
I'm not going to get into the medical stuff right now. There's obviously there are some guys. You guys are going to be out there. You guys are going to be able to see, but yeah, I don't want to touch on the medical stuff right now.
Can I give you a specific one? Is Corey able to do stuff?
Corey Davis?
Corey Davis,
yeah, he's here. He's working. He's working.
Is Makai?
They just had their baby, so he's obviously tending to that, which is far more important than this.
Well, you mentioned, I think it was maybe during the rookie camp, or that this would be a little bit different. OTAs, the big guys wouldn't be doing as much. What do you hope to get out of these phase 3, and kind of just the thought process behind tempering it down a little bit?
So the biggest thing that you're always trying to achieve with regards to OTAs is really is neck up. There's I've said it before, where football is unique in the sense that you actually have to play the sport to get good at it. You can't pick up a ball, go to the gym and shoot hoops. You can't swing at the driving range. Like, you have to actually play it with others to get good at it. So everything about OTAs is really about technique, fundamentals. The violence part of it's not there because you don't have pads on, but to be able to refamiliarize yourself with the scheme and what you're being asked to do, and there's been a lot of self-scout that's taken place, so not reintroducing but introducing new concepts to the guys, and trying to build off what we did a year ago. So there's a lot of things you're trying to get done, but the biggest part of it is really your technique, fundamentals, and neck up.
The last year you guys had, and some of it had to do with because of injuries and some contract stuff with like Jameson, but Zach was taking a bunch of first-team reps, as a rookie. Elijah was taking a bunch of first-team reps as a rookie. If you have a player like a rookie that you envision really contributing significantly come the regular season, does it make sense to give him the reps now? Because there's also the old traditional mindset of start third, go to second, then work up to first, compared to just boom, baptism by fire.
No, we split it up. If there's a 10-play period, it's I believe the reps are 5, 3, 2. In terms of the split. So, but it's the quarterback getting those reps, right, from a quarterback standpoint, and then from there you as a position coach give the guys the work that they need. So you'll see perceived 1 take 3 out of the 5, and then and split through. So when you look at reps, and I think I said it during training camp too, you can choose to read between the lines, but there's really nothing to read. It's just guys getting reps. There's some guys who might be scaling back to take care of the legs. There might be guys that you're scaling up to give them more reps. But the beginning of your question, reps are priceless. So with all these guys, you're trying to maximize their reps, and the more they show, the more you want to give them, because you're preparing them for what you think they'll be ready to do during the season. So. But you're trying to get those guys as many reps as you can.
The rookies who were scaled back during rookie minicamp, Garrett, Sauce, are those guys going to be more?
Yeah, they're working. Yep.
How about Jeremy with his foot? Is he able to do stuff in OTA?
Jeremy, I'm sorry, no, he's still working with his through his foot injury, but he is out there working with the strength and conditioning stuff.
When we were here, I guess, rookie camp, we were talking about Zach, and you said it was beefy, and but you see a change in him now that you're doing more. Do you see more? Do you see more of a change in him? What do you see from him?
Yeah, it's only been one day with phase. If we go through phase 2, he clearly has a much better understanding. Not to say he didn't have an understanding, it just clicks different in year 2. And yesterday was a really cool day, just very decisive, got the ball where it needed to get to. You just see little things in his game, and it's as we install more and we put more load on not only his teammates but himself, you'll see the amount of growth that we've made.
You've added a lot of pieces to the defense, so how vital will OTAs be towards integrating those pieces into the scheme?
I think it's big. Obviously, I'm biased, right? I'm a coach, but the same can be said on offense. We've got 2 new tight ends, we've got another receiver to add to the fold, and then on defense, we've got all those guys in the back end. So anytime you can get those guys together, again, they've got to play football. They've got to play football against one another to be able to get good at it and to be able to go and communicate with one another and understand how they play certain concepts and understand so they can learn to play off one another. So there's a lot of things that come into play once they all get together. So yeah, I think it's all priceless.
Robert, we didn't see you since the schedule came out. What was your reaction to the schedule?
Got a home opener. It's a hell of a deal.
Tagging off on a little bit of what Kaz's question and also DJ's question is that when you look at that schedule, first few games aren't perceived to be easy, and with the new CBA that's come out, the way that the game has changed over the years, I mean, the practice time that you guys have to prepare for that opener just isn't what it used to be. So it usually takes a little bit of time for teams to get going, especially teams that have so many new pieces like you guys do. So does that increase the importance of OTAs, minicamp, and training camp? Will you have to change anything to kind of hit the ground running because you don't necessarily have the easiest start to the year?
No, every game in the league is hard. These guys are all every week is an animal. You're not getting your bye weeks every week. But with that said, OTA, it doesn't change. You're still trying to maximize. There's an old cliche saying that you treat every moment like a championship moment. So when you get to those championship moments, they're very normal. And so these OTAs are no different than what they've always been. It's preparing yourself to be your absolute best every single day to get ready for week 1, and then from there you take it on to week 2, 3, 4, and whatever. But it doesn't change the urgency because you're always foot to the pedal to the metal. But Baltimore does present a unique offense, so having that time to be able to study it is a plus.
Last year, you and Zach were obviously new to your jobs, new to the market. Just based on your own experience, maybe the way you feel going into year 2 as opposed to year 1, do you think he probably has just a greater degree of certainty and confidence about just how to do this job at a high level?
Yeah, I think anytime it's all experience, right? So it's again, I do think it takes players 3 years to figure it out, and I do think there's an adjustment that they're making all to from year 1 to year 2. That's every single player throughout the NFL, and year 2 to year 3 is when they really solidify exactly what they want to be. But you can tell that he's got his head's right. He's in a great mental space. He's speaking the right language. He's saying the right things. He's doing the right things off the field. With regards to who he's surrounding himself with. So we're really excited about where he's at. Now it's just a matter of continuing to grow with regards to the football aspect of it and see how far he can take it.
When it comes to OTAs, how much more important is his process, his mental apathy when it comes to attacking defenses versus the physical stuff? Because again, you can't do too much. You're not gonna do too much 11-on-11, and obviously there's no pads. So how much is the mental processing part much more greater during OTAs?
Everything is mental, especially when you've seen the same defense for 10 consecutive days, and it becomes redundant and it can be boring. And how can you challenge yourself mentally? How can we as coaches challenge the players mentally to continue to find ways to get better? So there's a lot of different things going on both sides. But again, it's like I said earlier, OTA is all about neck up, technique, fundamentals, neck up work, and so especially for the quarterback, where like you said, it could get boring. But for him to stay mentally engaged comes from us and him. So
Take a couple more.
Robert, after the last game last season, one of the first things you said to us, I think, to the team was to close the gap in the division. I realize it's May 24th or whatever. This is all on paper right now, but from what you did in free agency and the draft, on paper, do you feel like you can close that gap at all?
no, we're better. I know we're going to be better, and we're young. We're a year older. We brought in some really cool pieces. A lot of guys who stand for the right stuff, who live and breathe football, and now it's just a matter of trying to gain that continuity and confidence, and again, just take it one game at a time. So.
Have you noticed that all the players that used to fit in your scheme in San Francisco or even Seattle, and especially that offense as it becomes more popular, are becoming harder to acquire with more teams sort of copying a version of that for themselves?
You know, it's that's a cool question. I think in the NFL, there's always competition for great players, and the one thing that I feel very confident on with our schemes is that we always put our players in position where they showcase it. Like it's both offensively and defense is a very attack style mentality, and so when a player is allowed to go attack, you unlock their all their athletic gifts. So the example I'd give would be the D line, where we are fire off the ball attack, where there's other teams who read and react, where they're not necessarily getting off the ball. One shows on tape better than the other. Not that one is better than the other, just one shows better than the other for a player in an individual way. But you're always competing with every single team, trying to acquire as many great players as you can. So when you're chasing the same guys, maybe it does, but it does seem that way when you bring it up. Like we're all kind of looking at the same guys, and we're all liking the same guys. All our draft boards are very similar. So yeah, I guess it does.
Go Kim, Connor Costa.
Robert, with Zach, how about the work he seems to have done neck down coming into this second season?
Yeah, you guys will see him. He's thick, so he's another word, right? No, you guys will see. You guys will see him. He looks good. He looks confident. Shoulders are back. He's not caved in. He looks good. He's confident. He's smiling. He's vocal. I've said it before that you can always tell the confident level and their understanding of what they're being asked to do by the volume of their voice, and he's getting pretty loud. So he's and he's in a good space too. It's just him and LaFleur and Calabrese are in the room with him, and so there's less noise, but at the same time, it's a lot of good things are happening in there.
We obviously have talked so much about the players you guys have acquired, the guys who are going in year two, but how beneficial is it for you as a coaching staff to also now be going into year two? It's Mike's second year as OC, Rob's second year as quarterback coach, you're obviously second year as DC or head coach, and obviously the defensive staff as well. So how much of a boost does that give you guys that now you've also done it for a full year? Yeah,
it slows down for sure, and it's always better because you get a chance to. When it's the same person having the ability to make the adjustments off of what they put out there, right? Players and coaches alike. It's a lot easier to make those adjustments seamlessly and to add on to it, and where players understand the language, like just building upon a foundation that was started and making adjustments that make sense to what you're trying to accomplish schematically. So it's very beneficial. Obviously, things slow down. The language barrier is torn down a little bit in terms of players understanding coaches and what we're trying to get accomplished, and vice versa. Coaches understanding players. And it's so obviously a year two is always beneficial. So will year 3, 4, 5, and so on and so forth. So.
Linebacker was a position you guys didn't do a ton at this offseason. You added Harris. Where are Hamza and Sherwood kind of in their development in year two, learning to play that position?
Well, Sherwood, he's still recovering, obviously, from the Achilles, but he's out there. Excited to get him back, I believe, for training camp. And then Nas is out there, too, getting his work in. He looks good, and it's just a matter of trigger. For them, it's going to be when pads come on. Their safety's converted to linebacker, and I know they both put on weight. They've gotten a lot. They've solidified their bodies a little bit, so it's just going to be a matter of taking these reps. For Wood, obviously, he's going to be a little bit behind trying to get it back there in training camp, but he is wired in, he's locked in, and he's going through everything mentally. But they're good. They're in good shape. Just got to continue getting these reps and seize their opportunities.
Thanks, everyone.
All right. Thanks, guys.